Hello there and welcome to NORDSKOG Instruments. Did you know that all of our gauges are microprocessor controlled, and some of them you can even program to do things that you want to do? We have gauges for just about everything, from motorcycles, offshore racing boats, race cars, off-road racers, off-road vehicles, import cars, street rods, hot rods, everything you can think of. Analog gauges, digital gauges, gauges that replace your entire instrument cluster, and additional gauges like air-fuel ratios and other things like that. Today we're going to take a look around at the shop, see how we make gauges. We're also going to check out some of our projects that we do. Okay, here we are in our testing and production facility. Over here we have final assembly going on. Marco's putting some finishing touches on some products that'll ship today. Over here we have Ellen doing some initial assembly, some circuit board development. We build everything in-house, everything's built here. We also have a prototype board here that we're putting through its initial paces. This will be a product we introduce in a couple of months. We also have another panel over here. This is a direct fit that will go in a car. It's getting its full testing because every gauge we make is 100% tested before we ship it. So every gauge you get works every time. Now we'll go out here into the warehouse, see what else we have going on. Okay, now we're out in the warehouse. This is not only where we have all the raw materials and all the finished goods for shipping, it's also where we do all of our development, our design, our test fitting, and all of our projects. Here's one of our current projects here. This is a 1959 Corvette dash that we've designed. We're actually doing the prototype fitting for this one. Another project we're working on is a Jeep CJ project. This is the original housing. Here's the digital gauge that we're going to put into it. We're also working on other projects. We have a C4 or a mid-80s Corvette, very complicated dash that we're going to be replacing. We also have a Nova. We do a lot of muscle cars and hot rods. And this actually is a 1940 Ford. We're going to put digital gauges in a 40 Ford. So we do just about everything here, from 32 Fords on up to 98 Mustangs and everything in between. We do GM, we do Ford, we do Chrysler and Mopar. We also do Hondas and everything else. Okay, here we are at another piece of our business here. We're not just gauge manufacturers here at NORDSKOG Instruments. We're also car enthusiasts. We race cars, we restore cars. Obviously this is a restoration project we're working on. It's a 72 Ford F100. We're actually test fitting one of our digital panels right now. One of the things about these digital panels is the speedometer. Not only does every speedometer we make have a 0 to 60 speed, quarter-mile ET, high-speed recall, and is user programmable with a push button, also all of our speedometers can be GPS driven, which means the satellites do the calibration. You never have to worry about getting a speed signal. That's one of the things we're doing with this truck here. We're testing all of these things. We're actually going to put them into operation. Hopefully this truck will be running in a couple of months. It'll be a full street rod. Be a lot of fun. Look for us out at some shows. Okay, remember when I mentioned that here at NORDSKOG Instruments we test every instrument we make. We don't just test them on the test bench. We test them in a real-world application. This is my personal favorite, SCCA road race car. We've got our analog Pro Series gauges here. I also mentioned earlier that these are user programmable. These gauges will turn on things, turn on, in this case, warning lights, so that as a driver when I'm racing, I don't have to look at the detailed gauges. Gauges will tell me by lighting a light when there's a problem. I've got oil pressure, low oil pressure, light comes on. Got a water temp gauge, temp gets too high, light comes on. In addition, the TAC has a built-in shift light, so not only do I have to look at the RPMs, I can see a light come on when I need to shift. Well, that's a brief introduction to what we do here at NORDSKOG Instruments. Showed you some of our products, showed you some of the things we can do. If you have any questions, if you have any custom applications, either give us a call. You can check out all of our products on our website. Otherwise, we'll be out at shows throughout the year, from off-road to hot rod to import shows. Stop by our booth, say hi, say you saw the video. Until then, have a good one. See you next time. Thanks.